Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today, not today. I think, this week I will have a review of this book in English because that book has been so interesting to me. Confronting the President from Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. Okay, these authors are #1 bestsellers. Confronting the President from George Washington to Joe Biden. It's very interesting to read it, and I thought it would be interesting to read because I look how these people, their lives have been impacted. It just shows how sometimes people, it was really interesting to read this book. And I'm not done because you have 46 presidents in here. It doesn't talk about the complete life of this president, but he gave the main part of their life, the main event of their life, personal life, and then he talks about the administration thereof when they were in the office. For instance, he talked about George Washington, and he talked about all the challenges this president had, because all of them had challenges in the time when they were president. And you will see some accomplishment. So those who didn't accomplish much more in their policies. So here you have George Washington, you have John F. Kennedy, you have Barack Obama, you have Jefferson, I think. You have, pardon me, I don't necessarily know everything, but I'm learning. You have Joe Biden, I think it's Theodore Roosevelt. This is Donald Trump. You have Abraham Lincoln. You have George Bush Sr. This man, I don't know who he is. You have Ronald Reagan, and I think here is Andrew Jackson, if I'm not wrong. You have Richard Nixon. You have, I don't know if it's Quincy Adams. I have no idea. You will tell me. And you have Bill Clinton. So all of them have their background, the different background. But most of them in the beginning, they had something in common. But the man who kind of come and change a little bit of things was Andrew Jackson, because he didn't have the same background than the other one who started the presidency. I've learned a lot how Washington DC was a land purchase, how Thomas Jefferson did the Louisiana Purchase. I've learned a little bit about a little bit more about Abraham Lincoln, his beginning, and why, in a way, he was killed. But it was very interesting to find out that John Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln were not the only one who actually was killed during the presidency. But how come they have president killed in the office, sitting president? Okay, we have like someone like Garfield who was killed. You have, there's another one, McKinley, or I don't remember, the one before Theodore Roosevelt, if I'm not wrong, was killed. Okay? And always people who are too passionate about something, they were eliminated, sitting president. And it's very special that a country is saying that they're democratic. Okay? We'll do such thing. And I don't know, it's just, really, when I went to the story of John F. Kennedy, was very interesting because the family is, I will do the review on that this week if I have time, but I'm just waiting to see the presidential election first. And under Andrew Jackson, you had the Trail of Tears. And that was a very painful chapter for Native American of America. Under Nixon, because I'm trying to read all of them, there are 46 presidents, and the book is big, and it's only 7 days. So I add 2 more days, but if I can have 7 days more, because I cannot finish it completely. But I now, like for example, Richard Nixon, it was the Watergate scandal. I think for Bill Clinton, it's probably the Monica Lewinsky scandal, if I'm not wrong. And George Bush, I think, is how he handled the war I will have to read it because I'm not there yet. I read about Theodore Roosevelt, which was quite interesting. But please, 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 people, those who know the history of America, this is something I'm really being confused. It had been taught to me in high school back really like it didn't really mention that America went to World War One. But when I read this book, I see that America was in World War One. So I'm completely confused. When America really entered the World War, because for me, they entered officially in World War Two. Okay, so if you can explain me on that, it would be interesting to know because I like history, because I see that Theodore Roosevelt son went to World War One, and I saw that I don't know if I'm wrong, but I saw he talked about his son went to World War One. Someone else, another president, have children going to the war. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like America went to World War One. Pardon my ignorance, because I've learned in school that they didn't officially were in the war. I remember reading that it was, I don't know, it was Woodrow who didn't want America to enter the war or something like that. So it was quite interesting to see all this, to read all this. I'm not done yet, but it's interesting. There are a lot of questions concerning Kennedy's death, because there are so many things. I don't know. I mean, when you gather all the information and everything, you will see that, like for example, they clearly say that LBJ didn't like Kennedy at all, and he's the one who advised him to go to the south, like to Dallas, no, to the south, Texas, and to name it is like to just explain that it's like Kennedy was in love in the south, which I understood because he was seen like a snob, but actually the Kennedy like good life. I think, I don't know, but he was always around people who have money and stuff like that. But what is very special is the man was suffering a serious back problem. He was suffering a lot in terms of his health when it comes to his back. And you wonder how this man has done so much in his political career. He did even much more than, and what I read is like the father at the beginning warned that the first son, Joseph Kennedy Jr., was the one who was supposed to be president. It's interesting to see that the father, Joe Kennedy, was the machine behind the Kennedy political career. And I think he's the one who actually advised his son to take LBJ as vice president. But the end was really bad. I read that Thomas Jefferson was doing stuff on the back of John Quincy Adams, if I'm not wrong, and that he was paying some journalists sometimes to a journalist, because I had it here. The journalist was so upset about it. Later on, Jefferson, ignored him when he was in trouble. Let's see it somewhere here. I mean, politics was already nasty a long time ago. Okay, politicians were already nasty a long time ago. Okay, my professor in my school here in American University, my professor, she had a PhD in history. I like to say that every time. She has a PhD in history, and her favorite man was Alexander Hamilton. I don't know why she liked that man, but she liked him so much that she would talk about him every time. So I'm curious to know why she liked this Alexander Hamilton that much. So here, Thomas Jefferson was VP of, he was John Adams. I found out that they were already a father and son president. Okay, John Adams and John Quincy Adams. But there is something here they say. He was a French lover. He liked the French. Yeah. They say somewhere there was a journalist. He was paying someone, if I'm not wrong, to trash in a way in the newspaper, because back in the days they could be from different political party. You know, VP can be from a different political. So it makes sense to me that he was the politics was already messy. So most of them at the beginning were slave owners, and I think you understand that it was an economical way. It was not only a lifestyle, but it was mostly economically. That's how people were living, slavery, and I think people were judged by the number of slaves you had back in those days. And you understand that if you come to break this cycle or saying now you have to stop slavery, you are a problem. And no wonder why probably Abraham Lincoln was deleted physically. So you have many of them at the beginning were racist, because you see stuff like Theodore Roosevelt and so on, and you have those like Jefferson, who didn't like black people, but he had a mistress who was black. It's something very difficult to understand. You have another president, Johnson, who actually wow, not Andrew Jackson. Another one. Ooh, I'm looking for the name. There's another one who became president. Actually, Abraham Lincoln came when Abraham Lincoln came. He came after James Buchanan, and what the book says is James Buchanan didn't accomplish much. The policy was not really good. His presidency wasn't really good. So Abraham Lincoln came, and he had to take all the mess, all the accomplishment and all the problem left from the previous administration of James Buchanan, who, so when Abraham Lincoln came, the country was already going to be divided. It was the Civil War, the Secession War. The main reason of this war was against slavery. So some of these people at the beginning, all in the old beginning were slave owners, and they had black slave mistress. It's gonna be difficult to understand that they were hiding it in a way. Some of them, I don't say all of them, but yeah. And they mentioned that a woman almost got close to become president, and that woman was not other person than Hillary Clinton. Now they want to break history. It's not about breaking history. It's about putting the person that fit for the work. Okay, so yeah, I'm in my son's bedroom. So thank you. I will do. I hope to do a review of the book. If I have the book again next week, good, but I will have to drop the book and ask if I can have it, because it's too many, but it's extremely interesting. It is interesting. You have the Gettysburg Battle, some names that I remember we were reading, we were learning here in America History 1, and I was brand new, I was new student here, and yeah. Thank you and bye.